Hello and welcome to the Courage and Confidence Festival. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Osmompreneur, the Women's Business School and Women Changing the World. I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the people of the land, pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I work and live on, the Mamu people of North Queensland, and pay my respects to traditional owners and elders past, present and emerging right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Today we are launching our book, Courage and Confidence. And this book has been written by 24 Australian women in business. And all proceeds from the sale of this book go to providing scholarships for marginalised women to attend the Women's Business School. The Women's Business School has 2 6-month programs. One of them is Ignite, and that's been designed for pre-launch and early stage founders. And our other program is Accelerate, which is an accelerator designed for more experienced and established business owners who are ready to scale their business up, expand internationally, and do big things in the world. So every copy of this book goes towards providing opportunities for other women and paying it forward. I'm so excited to have a wonderful guest with me today who's going to give us a presentation, and that is Marika. Please join me on stage now, Marika.
Hi, how are you going?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. I've had a great morning. I'm happy to be here and sharing my workshop. So,
yeah, it's wonderful to have you here. So, Marika, for people who haven't met you before, I would love you to introduce yourself, tell us a bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay, so my name is Marika. I own Perth Virtual Services. So I'm in my 3rd year of business. And during that time, I've managed to win a couple of awards and be recognised for the work that I've done, which is amazing. But what I'm sort of journeying through at the moment as part of this book and on a business level as well is journeying into that personal development of people within business, because I think, our soul's journey is in constant development. So understanding how you react and how you work in business as well as a personal level and aligning those two can be really assist in advancing you. So yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and let's go straight to that presentation now.
Yeah, sure. Hi everybody, and welcome to my workshop, Rise Like a Phoenix by Marika Gare. So in today's workshop, we'll be looking at the following tools, if my computer will work for me. So rising to the challenges in personal and business. So I'll give you a bit of an introduction. I'll share my personal journey and some personal development tips, and then we'll move on to business development. So firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Marika Gare, and I'm the multi-award winning owner of Perth Virtual Services, providing virtual executive level support to small and medium businesses throughout the Asia Pacific region. I've been in business nearly 3 years now, and in that time, I have learned a lot. And one of those things is that being in business is just as much a personal development journey as it is a business one. You learn so much about yourself along the way. And in my workshop today, I'm going to provide some insight into my experiences and some tips I've learned to really reach that full potential and rise like a phoenix in any situation. To rise like a phoenix represents rebirth from ashes of the past, to learn and grow from the old and become stronger and wiser. It represents transformation, strength, and renewal. This can be representative on a personal or business level, as there are many situations we face that require us to draw on our strength and reserve and to grow and flourish into a new, improved version of ourselves, to ignite that inner fire within and keep going with determination and strength. So here I will provide some insight into my personal journey and where I found my inner phoenix. Like many people, I've experienced multiple hardships in life. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at the age of 14 and told my life will never be the same again, and it was likely that I would never be able to have children. I had my first bowel section at 15, lost both my grandfathers a couple of months later, 4 weeks apart. I lost my brother at 26, endured an abusive relationship, watched my father battle multiple brain tumours, each time not knowing if he would survive or if he did, what mental and physical disabilities he would have. I had a major car accident at 34 and nearly died, resulting in long-term rehab and 3 years for full recovery. I lost both my grandmothers. I had my second bowel resection at 38, and I brought a beautiful child into this world on my own at the age of 40. For years, with so many challenging times, I honestly thought I was cursed. Why did the universe keep throwing such difficult times into my life? Surely life wasn't meant to be this painful, and when would this change? But then I came to an understanding, while embracing my life journey, that this was my path. I was meant to go through these difficult times, as each time I went through challenging times, I became stronger, wiser, more adaptable, and I had a greater sense of self. And perhaps I might be able to help others going through the same thing. So the most significant challenge for me was recovering after my car accident. We hit a tree at 80 kilometres an hour and rolled the car several times. The accident happened in a remote location in Thailand, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, brought about its own additional challenges. I was in intensive care in Thailand for nearly 2 weeks before I insisted the doctors let me fly home against their advice. Once home and in the right care, my rehab journey began. Losing physical abilities and suffering severe head trauma as well as facial injuries was difficult to swallow. I had to retrain my body how to move again without falling over, practice my walking and arm exercises to get movement back, and rehabilitate my emotions too. Looking in the mirror and seeing my face so swollen and covered in stitches was like looking at the Elephant Man. In fact, the doctors actually hid all the mirrors in the room when I was in hospital so I wouldn't see how bad I looked. They were worried how I would react, especially after already being in shock. So I had to repair my brain function and complete brain training exercises for almost 3 years to aid my memory and reading ability, cognitive functions, and overall mental awareness. I lost 70% of my memory, and getting this back was hard. I didn't know if I would ever fully recover. In fact, the doctors couldn't guarantee it at all. It was just a hope. But one day when I was in rehab, I remember a man in a wheelchair who was also in the gym doing rehab. My trainer left for a short moment and he yelled out at me, "Why are you walking along with such a miserable look on your face? You're walking. Look at me. I'll never have that chance to walk again." I felt shocked and I didn't know what to say. He was in a wheelchair and he'd lost both his legs. I honestly felt so bad. I didn't want to keep walking in front of him. I think I even apologised because I felt so bad for being able to walk. But it snapped me out of my mood and it made me realise he was right. I've been through hard times before and this is no different. I may look like the Elephant Man and have temporary physical and mental disabilities, but that needed a lot of work. But I'll get through this and I'll pass in time to better things. I just needed to stay strong. So the quote here I put is, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning how to dance in the rain." It's one of my favourites. So that afternoon, I sat down and really thought about what I wanted out of life once I was better. Was I happy where I was in life? What did I really want? I started meditating and writing in a journal as regularly as I could and came up with a 5-year plan. I wanted to get through this rehab. I wanted to buy a house of my own. I wanted children, to have a business, to travel. The world would be my oyster. I just needed to start. I started a vision board with motivational quotes and pictures of what I wanted and where I wanted to go. I looked at it every day and thought about my goals. It gave me the motivation to keep pushing through my recovery, to stay thinking positive and know in my heart I will ace this. I just need to keep going. And it's something even now in business that I draw on. I still use vision boards, inspiration from others, and future plans to work towards, which will help boost my motivation. But now I use 2-year plans. I set higher intentions and I work harder to get there quicker, because why not? What are you waiting for? So one thing that has helped me greatly to increase my awareness and calm my inner farm on days of high stress in business is meditation. I cannot praise it enough. And for those of you who know, there really is nothing else that beats it. The power of the brain is an amazing thing, and the healing powers you have within your own inner self is second to none. Part of my workshop today is delving into your inner self to enhance your abilities and use this in both personal and in business. So I tell this story because anyone can nurture their inner self to find the strength and understanding to navigate through even the most stressful times. If you understand the way you see the world and how you can utilize your inner bank of knowledge and wisdom to assist you with stressful situations, you're able to recognize things earlier, decrease the amount of time it takes to deal with it, and reduce how long it affects you for. I'm not saying get over it and move on, not at all, but it's in finding the best way through for you so you can learn and grow and move forward quickly. Each part of my journey has made me who I am, and I choose to see the positive in all situations. When you're able to see the positives, the lessons, the growth available to you, and move forward with courage and confidence, you're able to rise above anything. Nothing lasts forever, and the difficult times do pass. So hold on to your knickers and keep going. And this is one of my favourite quotes. Don't let a day go by without laughing, because life is definitely too short. So now we move on to the business section of my workshop, using the information from the personal session just now and how you can use this in business. As I mentioned before, being in business is just as much a personal journey as it is a business one. You'll learn a lot about yourself along the way, how you interact and communicate with others, how confident you are in promoting yourself as your business, and how aligned you are with the pathway you've chosen, what you want and how you will get there, how you react to obstacles and overcome the hurdles along the way. To me, it comes down to analysing the situation, understanding the positives, and choosing how to navigate through the best way for you. For example, my motto, just like Girl Scouts, is always be prepared. And yes, I do Girl Scouts. So use your intuition and data analysis to forecast where your business might be headed and where you want it to go, what obstacles you foresee, and how you think you can navigate through each of those. What's the best outcome you see? What's the worst? And what could come out of left field and take you by surprise? Could you deal with any one of these situations? Take your time to contemplate this. Write them down. Acknowledge how they make you feel. Angry, hurt, anxious, or confused or overwhelmed. Try and understand why you feel that way. What is it on a personal level that brings up those emotions? And how can you develop your inner self to be the best version of you so these feelings do not affect you on that level? For example, if you know you're the sort of person that gets anxious with a mountain of work and you feel overwhelmed, then recognize this and find ways to adapt and grow. Prepare how you might respond on a personal level. What course of action would you take if things became overwhelming in your business? Do you have a plan so you don't burn out? Is there a way to improve things so it doesn't get to this point? What systems and procedures could you change to assist with this? And how can your business adapt to rapid growth? Usually when people endure a rapid business growth, it all becomes too much as they're not prepared mentally or have prepared their business for this change. It often comes out of nowhere, which is a good thing, but it brings about its own challenges. The ability to adapt to situations is paramount in business, and if you're not prepared, all that hard work you've put in to get to that point is withered. Today, I'm going to give you some tools to work on this development. You can use this quadrant for any personal or work matter that may arise or that you want to work on for future situations. So first, what is the issue? And under that, what emotions does this bring up in you and why? What is the best resolution or outcome you want to see? And what pathway can you create to get to this outcome? So for an example today, I put the issue as public speaking. The emotions that can bring up are anxiety, stress, feelings of not feeling good enough or not interesting enough. Where do these emotions come from? Usually it's a lack of confidence in yourself, and which wasn't there when we came into this world. So at what point in your life did this come about? Where did it change? If you can delve into this part of yourself and understand the why, you can work through this to help through the emotions. So the resolution, obviously, is to gain confidence in public speaking without feeling stress. And the pathway, how can you get there? For example, you could practice writing and delivering speeches. You could work on your anxiety through meditation or any other form that works for you. You could work on your confidence through ways, again, that work for you, and work on your inner worth. I love listening to Tony Robbins' videos. He's amazing, and it always inspires me to just, get through that little hurdle. So from here, once you've done this quadrant and filled out these points, there's obviously a lot more work to do. But it's a great start, and it helps you to really analyse and break down your emotions and targets and delve into possibilities and find solutions to get to the point where you want to go. Delving into the fire. So this example is something I'm actually dealing with at the moment, the one we did in the quadrant. While I've got this amazing business and I've won multiple awards, I still get anxious being on stage and in the spotlight, as it's not what I'm used to. But I'm putting myself out there, getting out of my comfort zone and delving into the fire. And I know this is a common issue that many of us go through in business and in life, through a lack of confidence in ourselves. So I thought it was a good example to focus on today. Rising to the challenges that you face on a daily basis, using that inner source of strength and courage you have inside through your experiences, emotions, and memories is a powerful source to use in business. It's taking that step to develop yourself and understand your reactions and processes and how you can develop the old you into a better, unstoppable you to rise like a phoenix. So that in part wraps up my workshop for today. I hope you all enjoyed it and got some tools to help you through your business journey. I've got some little shots up here which I love to just remind me. So be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. If you really are passionate about something and you want something bad enough, you will find a way to get through. And the other one is remember her. She's still there inside you, waiting. That little girl who's just, let's go. So that's something I always love to look at. So I just wanted to let you all know I will have some resource tools up on my website soon, like this quadrant and much more. And I'll be holding some virtual workshops in the near future for those of you who might like to learn a bit more about this and work on things together to help reach your goals. So if you'd like information, to be notified of these updates and workshops, please click on the link provided or pop over to my website contact page and pop me an email stating what you're interested in, and I can action that for you. So my website is www.perthvirtualservices.com.au. So I hope you've enjoyed my insights today, and I would love you to support the Women's Business School and all the other co-authors of the Courage and Confidence book by purchasing a copy of this book through my website. Again, you can go onto the website and check out the store section. It's on there for you. So Courage and Confidence gives back proceeds from the sale of this book towards providing scholarships to the Women's Business School for female founders. So you can apply or read more on the link provided, and I really hope that we can all be there and support each other as women is such an important thing, and we're all going through this journey together. So I hope that you have really enjoyed my session today, and if any of you would like to have some contact with me, you can get my contact details on my website, and I'm happy just to have a chat and go from there.
Thank you so much, Marika. That was a wonderful presentation. Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Yep. You can hear me now. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I love how you talked about the relationship between personal development and personal growth with business development and business growth. I think some people look at them as separate things, but actually
Absolutely.
they're essential, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're definitely intertwined together. And like I've said, you do learn so much about yourself. It's like motherhood. You also learn a lot about yourself through that journey. And it's the same thing with business. It's just that constant development and really learning about yourself. And a lot of it does come down to confidence, how confident you are in liaising with your customers, how confident you are in promoting yourself, and all those sorts of things. And obviously public speaking as well, which I touched on in my workshop. So yeah, you learn how you react and how to sort of improve that so you can get through. So if that hurdle comes up again, then you don't find that lack of confidence, and you've built yourself up so you're able to rise through that. So yeah,
I love the technique that you shared with the quadrant and breaking it down into those 4 separate areas, and then looking at each thing one by one, and like, well, why is public speaking, for example, so scary? Where did that come from, and how do I address that issue? I really love how you've done that, rather than like, well, I'm scared of that, so I'm just going to push myself. You're actually stopping and taking the time to examine, when did it begin? Why is it bringing up those emotions for me? I think that's really...
So often those that lack of confidence comes through life experiences. So it might be something to do with relationships, or something that happened when you're younger, or for whatever reason it affected your confidence on an inner level. And whether you really recognize that or not, it does come out in certain situations. And so it's being able to delve back into that part of yourself and seeing it through different eyes, and developing yourself through that, and then understanding yourself a bit more and your reactions. And it just gives you that extra advancement, I guess, in business as an extra tool. So no,
I can see the application for it across all kinds of different areas. I had Amanda Thompson as part of the festival yesterday, and she's a financial advisor. And so we were talking about money blocks and limiting beliefs around money. But again, I can see this strategy giving people the opportunity to look at, well, what is it? Why do I have these blocks around money? Where did that come from? How did that start? And how can I address that at the root cause of it?
Yeah. And I guess it's something that I do in my business as well. So I help small and medium businesses get to that optimized level. So it's my job to go in and really look at all the nitty gritty and come up with a strategy and a plan. Okay, why are things this way? How can it be improved? And then I come up with a strategy on the pathway to get that done, to really get things up to the best it can be. So I guess it's just, my mindset. I'm used to having strategies, and I really break things down and analyze it. And it helps. The more knowledge and understanding you have, it helps everybody. So
it's quite a powerful tool. Thank you so much for sharing that. You also talked about your personal journey, and that the accident that you had when you were younger. I didn't realize it happened in Thailand, which adds a whole nother dimension to it.
So it really does. So it was kind of in the jungle a bit. It was and it was near a cliff face as well. I mean, I wasn't driving. I was with a partner at the time, and we had a local man driving. For whatever reason, he thought it was being a bit silly and speeding, and we're like, slow down. We were getting a bit frightened, and we actually told him to slow down 3 times, and then he lost control, and it happened. But yeah, it did have its challenges because, there was a language barrier, and then, the hospitals over there are very different. And I remember going in the ambulance, and they took me to this hospital, and it was quite run down. And my partner was in shock, and he actually went mute for 3 days. He couldn't even talk. But anyway, so we went in, and he just went, no. And so I no, take me somewhere else. So I made them take me to a different hospital, but there was still that language barrier and that trying to explain to them my feelings and my pain and what was wrong and things like that. So it was quite stressful. And there is actually another story behind that. We did have our passports taken off us, and there's a whole nother story which I'll probably delve into another time, but it was very frightening. So that's another reason why I wanted to get home, and why I did have PTSD, because I felt like my freedom was being taken away from me, and it was very frightening on top of everything else that was happening. So yeah, but look, it's all been such a learning curve. And like I've said in the book and elsewhere, that I do see it as a positive now, because even though it was a really difficult time, it really made me look into the core of myself and reevaluate what I wanted out of life. And I really had to build myself from the ground up again, partly because I lost so much memory and everything else. But it made me see things with different eyes, like the other events I've been through as well, but on a different, obviously larger scale. And if it wasn't for that accident, I wouldn't have made so many changes in my life. So, and I just appreciate so many, just the little things, absolutely every day. So it's so important. Sometimes you get lost in your work and your business, and you've got to get this, and you've got to pay the bills and everything else, and you just forget to have that step back and appreciate the little things. So I love to just go outside sometimes, and I'll just sit in the sun and close my eyes and just listen to the wind in the trees and the really basic sounds, and I'll just clear my mind out. And it's amazing how much it just refreshes you, even 10 minutes of doing that. So
yeah, it's an incredible story, Marika, and it's not the first time that you've been close to death.
No.
In the book, you talk about you actually died during the operation, and you were able to be revived, fortunately. But that, the near-death experience, I think it does something to you. It makes you reset and really appreciate life more.
It really does. And I'm quite a spiritual person as well. And I must, when I went through all the stuff with the accident, there was quite a spiritual journey that I went on with that, which, again, I'll delve into another time. It's a long story. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's still, it blows me away how much you learn during life and how much you grow and how things present itself to you. And it's definitely a journey that we're on here. So, yeah,
absolutely. And that appreciation for the small things. I think, you talked about that when we get busy and we get caught up in everything that's going on, we can forget that actually what matters is being grateful that we're here and appreciation for this life that we have and everything that we have.
Absolutely. And another reason that's so prevalent for me as well is, when with the Crohn's disease, when I get sick or when it can have quite a big flare, I can't eat. It makes me physically sick, and it's the most extreme pain. So taking away just a simple thing like eating, it affects you a lot. You don't realize it's just something little, but it really does. And, even when you go out to places and, everyone goes out to dinner or catch-ups and things like that, and you can't. So, you adapt and you grow. But, all these things that I've been through in my life definitely make me appreciate the little things and the people who are in my life as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about vision boards and visualization as being a really powerful tool for you. Can you tell us a bit more about how vision boards work for you?
So basically, it's just, well, you sit down, you come up with a plan similar to the quadrennial, I guess. Like I said, I analyze and break everything down. So I really sit down in my quiet place. I think about what I want in the next 2 years, 5 years, whatever plan you want to go with, and how I can get there. And then I put some pictures together. I go through magazines and bits and bobs, and I put that all up on a vision board. And I look at it every day, and I have motivational quotes on there as well. And I just make sure that I keep that in my mind. That's my intent. That's where I want to go. And every time you feel a little bit flat or, a bit ho-hum in life, I look at that and say, yeah, that's my goal. And I imagine how I'm going to feel when I get there and how great it's going to be. I'm like, yes. And then I can come up with the next goal. It's like, oh my God, I can do anything. I've just got to, all right, as soon as I get there, there'll be the next one and the next one, and life will just keep getting better. So for me, it's a really great tool. And motivational quotes and things like that. So, yeah, and I started Tony Robbins in my early days of business. He was really great. I love him, watching empowerment videos like that. He really gets you going after a while. So, I mean, he's not the right person for everyone. I know everyone has their own sort of thing. You got to find what fits for you and what really resonates with you. But yeah, I love all that kind of stuff. And I think when I do my meditation, I think about that goal as well. And then you really quiet your mind and you feel those feelings of excitement and everything coming up. And you envision yourself living like a little video clip. You envision yourself living that life and how you'd feel. And it's very powerful.
That's really cool. And do you have any unexpected outcomes or any great vision board stories that you can share with us? What's one thing you've achieved?
I don't know. I mean, when I have my vision boards, because I'm so, I was once told that I've got the determination of Attila the Hun? Attila the Hun? I don't know. But because my determination is so strong. If I want something, I'll keep going till I get it. So if I've got a vision board, I'll keep going. So I achieve everything that I put on my vision boards, and it's really just giving myself a time frame. I don't want to overwork myself and work too hard and become overwhelmed. There's a lot of things in life, business, I'm a single parent as well. So you've got to find that balance, but you do what works for you and you work smarter and faster with each time, especially when you work out what tools work for you. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about balance just briefly now. What does that look like for you?
Oh, I think on a common level, everyone thinks, business, relationships, wellness. What is that exactly? But it's not just that. To me, it's a physical, it's your mental, and it's your spiritual. So whatever those things mean to you, obviously there's a balance in life with, work and family commitments and things like that. But on a personal level, I guess is what I sort of tend to delve in most is making sure you I guess work on all those areas. It's a bit of a trilogy within yourself, your emotions, your physical self, which also boosts your brain ability. So the more exercise you do, I mean, a lot of people know this already, but it boosts the endorphins and the serotonin and all the things in your brain that make you happy, but it also assists with brain function. So you have greater clarity and better thought and better sleeping patterns and things like that. So working on your physical self, your emotional self, and your spiritual self together is what's important, and finding the balance with all of them, because they all work together. Because if you've got physical ailments, you draw on your emotions and your spiritual side to get through. And it's the same if you move them around. They all work together. So it's important to really, find that combination with all of them.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And do you have a daily routine to ensure that you're bringing those elements in every day, or is it?
I would like to say yes. But no, I mean, I'm quite a free spirit. I'll go with whatever I feel each day. Sometimes if I might feel okay, I'm not physically feeling that good, so I'll really focus on that side of myself. Although in saying that, every day I do a little bit on my spiritual self, because I think that's one of the most important things, because that is what carries you through life and through all these things, and gives you the inspiration with your emotions and your physical strength and things like that. So every night before bed, once my son's asleep, I'll turn the TV off, all my electrical devices go away, and I just sit there in silence for an hour or two. I don't read books or anything. I really just sit there. I'll pat my cat. I'll think about the day and how I feel, and I'll just really calm myself down and get to that really happy place. And then I go to sleep like that. And I have a great sleep. Because I spent years where I used to go to bed and I was thinking so much about the next day and business and what am I going to do, and it'll wake me up through the night. And sometimes I still have nights like that. I'm not perfect, but I really work on that now to make sure I do get as much rest as I can, because that's very important as well. That's where you repair yourself physically and mentally and through the night. So I do have lots of different tools that I use, but each person will have the best thing that works for them, I guess, and what they've learned over time. But yeah, for me, my working on my spiritual side and my inner calmness is very important.
Yeah, and the benefits of that, it's a spiritual, it's a personal development thing again. It's it's that personal practice, but actually the benefits for that then show up in business, because you take that sense of calm and orderliness through to your day in the business side of things. So
and
it's
it's a lot more clarity, and I actually get little space. And I get these amazing ideas just come to me when I'm in that space. So it's very powerful.
Yeah. Well, it's been wonderful having you present today, Marika. I've really enjoyed this session, and I know that our viewers have as well. Thank you to everybody who's joined us live, but thank you especially to you, Marika, for being here today and being our guest. For people who want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to find you?
Look, multiple channels. There's my website, www.perthvirtualservices.com. There's Perth Virtual Services, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. They also have my phone number and my email address. So my contact details are through all the channels. Either way, I check them every day so I can respond to all of them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much again, and we will see you again soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us at the Courage and Confidence Festival. Bye, everyone.